get started. We do our worst work. It's like we have this fantastic conversation.
We do.
And then we hit record and we're like, what are we going to talk about? So, folks, before we get started, because John he wants to tell us about the movie that he just saw, which I'm excited to hear about. But I want to do a couple things. One, there was one mistake in the previous episode that it wasn't a mistake necessarily. It was a confusion, or now I know more. And that was when we were talking about the last GOP debate.
Yes.
We had made mention of the Ronald Reagan Library and that they were talking about it, and I didn't know why they were talking about it. We glossed over that. The reason they were talking about it and the reason they had mentioned it is because the next debate is going to be at the Reagan Library.
Got it.
So I just wanted to clear that up.
I bet the previous debate, then they were just talking about like beer. Because it was
Milwaukee.
in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Right. I can relate.
Milwaukee's not really a big beer town, or nearly as big as it used to be.
So, St. Louis is the same way.
Louis.
Yeah. I mean,
St. Louis isn't making any beer now, so.
You're right. Not any light beer anyway.
Wow. It's amazing. And it's, even the videos I've seen of Sturgis, because I did not go.
Yeah.
Lisa and I have been to Sturgis, just not during the rally.
Right. Same here. I've been to Sturgis.
Dang.
It's a neat town.
Oh, it's cool, but I just wondered. We went to the restaurant, had breakfast and everything, and I'm wondering how on earth do they get 300, 400,000 people in this little town? Yeah. Or take half of that. Let's say the other half are in the Black Hills or hungover or something like that.
Right. Right.
I don't understand. It's crazy how small. It's a small town.
It's a small town, and most of the activities, the concerts and things like that, are outside of the town,
right? In
these big fields.
Yes,
like you can see them. They're usually there year round, but they're not used except for that one point in time. So anyway, it was. I wanted to make that point, and the other point that I wanted to make is this episode that we're recording right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason I'm bringing this up, is actually happening the day after we recorded the previous one. So it's and I really, speaking of beer, I really you wanted to start so quickly. It's the end of the day. I wanted to go get a beer and bring it up here, but I didn't get time. That said,
poor thing.
What I did have today, this morning, Peyton and I, and we're recording this on a Friday, folks. Yeah. Peyton and I went to Starbucks this morning, right before we drove to school, or I drove her to school. Because yesterday, the day before yesterday, yesterday was the first day of my favorite time of year, pumpkin spice latte.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So Peyton had a pumpkin spiced chai tea latte iced with oat milk, and I had a pumpkin cream cold brew coffee. Yep. Best time of year. This is when I start to really come out of my shell. If you can't tell, I don't usually talk that much ever.
Yeah. We call you the turtle behind your back.
Turtle.
Up until now.
So, no. Well, I don't know if we've mentioned this on the podcast, because I do talk a lot, folks. That was the joke. If you don't actually know me, or haven't listened to the podcast, I do tend to talk more than John. Anyway, I you know how some people get really sick of winter and they get depressed at the end of winter, or they're depressed all winter long, but they really get super depressed at the end of winter. I'm the opposite. Yep. I get super depressed during summer, and I get worse as the end of summer comes along. So this is just that little highlight, that little falls on its way. I don't care what anyone says. Here we go. And I'm so super happy, because even though it's 100 degrees today, I know very, very soon it won't be. And I'm very excited about that.
Well, that's good. I'm delighted. We are all, speaking on behalf of the audience, we are all very excited that you are no longer in your shell.
I'm glad you're all excited to share that with me.
We are collectively excited.
John, tell us about your movie. You went to a movie today.
Forget it. I want to know about the. No, I will. It's actually, we went to the matinee early because I have plans this evening, and it was called The Hill, and I had seen I had seen the trailer online. I was on YouTube or something and saw it, and it was very good. It looked like I'm not these days really into anything horror or any even the fight stuff and the old Bruce Willis genre of movies. I'm just not
good Christmas
as
movies.
into that. Well, I will watch that at Christmas time for sure. Die Hard, my favorite Christmas movie. But it was that kind of a family friendly sort of a whatever. Dennis Quaid did a nice job as a crotchety pastor at a church.
Okay.
I'm going to give you just one little glimpse into it because I don't want to talk about it for those who haven't seen it because it was really good. It was kind of a baseball story. There was small Texas towns built into it a little bit, but he's a pastor in this church, and there are people smoking in the church pews.
Nice.
And it was like the 60s, I think, probably late 60s.
That would make sense.
Early 70s. No, I don't remember that
ever. Come on. My stepfather, who was a physician, would sit reading films in the 60s and 70s, smoking a cigarette in the hospital. He was a radiologist.
Yeah, but it's a little different in a church. I mean, it's a different thinking. Yeah, it is. It's the hospital. Well, hospitals are ridiculous anyway because there are nurses and, oh, yeah, I'm up to 4 packs a day. You should really quit smoking.
Yeah.
A lot of that. There was a lot of that.
Yes, there was.
And nurses even, who you see these patients and they would do that. Anyway, hypocrisy aside, that I would, because I smoked too, so there. But yeah, the movie was good. But in the pews, not only were people smoking, but in one section, there's a lady dipping.
Wow.
It was disgusting. And spitting in the church pews. And I'm
gross.
Did that really happen?
It had
seriously?
I wouldn't put it past anybody.
Maybe. Anyway, that was just one of the moments of the movie. But it was just a lot of good parts to the movie. And so, it was enjoyable. Nice way to spend a couple hours.
And this episode's going to come out well after this day. But interesting you went to the movies today on a Friday.
Yes.
When Sunday is the National National Theater Day or something like that. And participating theaters of all kinds are participating by making all tickets on sale at $4.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, that you're going to miss it because this episode came out 2 weeks later.
Maybe they already went.
Maybe they already went. Maybe they already. I mean, hopefully, and if you did, you share your stories with us so we can talk about it and make fun of you. I mean, take everything you say seriously and. Yeah.
Good
but
idea.
Another thing I wanted to hit up because it's you said it's loosely based on baseball things.
Yeah.
I read in the news, and this is kind of exciting and scary all at the same time exciting because of who they are and what it is, but makes me a little hesitant because that means more people in Nashville. The Chicago White Sox, I don't know if you saw this in the news, the Chicago White Sox, their lease is coming up in the very near future. So one of the talks is that they are going to move, they quite possibly could move to Nashville.
Wow.
Be the Nashville Major League Baseball team, or more correctly, and I have a problem with it because if that happens, because the talk is either get an expansion team or another team moves. The White Sox are showing interest, so we might get the White Sox. I would love for it to be the Nashville White Sox. I think that has a decent ring to it. But no, the name would be the Tennessee Stars.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not happy. Partially because I'm a Minnesotan at heart. And I already am pissed off that Dallas has their own stars. They have our stars. So that's part of it. I will say I have baggage there. But at the same time, wouldn't it be so much cooler to be the Nashville White Sox or even Tennessee White Sox?
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Although, as you just pointed out, that when they keep the name and they go to a different city, the old fans aren't always fans.
No. Well, and I was talking to a few friends that live in Chicago, and there's no one, no matter whether they change the name or not, there isn't one person that's still going to remain a White Sox fan. if they move.
I would say there won't be many probably, but it's kind of a Chicago thing. They play currently in the most mispronounced ballpark in the MLB, I would guess. In the MLB. Yeah.
And that name is
Comiskey Park. And I would say at least half the time I hear Kaminsky.
Yeah, they put that that extra N in there. Yeah.
Often mispronounced.
Yeah.
And although now these days they're all the it's the Blue Bank something.
Yeah, no, it is. They have a different name for it. I don't remember what it is.
Well, it probably is, but again, that's every park it seems like, because they're just horse for money.
Yeah.
It's kind of that way.
I would, if they moved, I actually probably would be a Sox fan if they kept the name Sox.
Well, why wouldn't you be? Yeah.
Because I can't say I'm a Stars fan, because then people think, oh, you're a traitor because you're a Minnesota. I'm kidding, folks.
Stars. Yes.
There are plenty of Minnesotans that don't mind the Dallas Stars. They got over it. I just haven't.
And I wonder about that too. The same is true of there are a lot of teams that have moved.
The Rams,
the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
Were turned into the Indy Colts. The Rams went to L.A.
Yep.
They were,
to be
St.
fair,
Louis,
they were the L.A. Rams. Then they were the St. Louis Rams. Then they went back to
really.
Yeah,
I did
think
not
so.
know that.
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to look that up, but I'm not going to do that right now.
I'd like to. Yeah,
I think it was something like that.
It
might not have been L.A.
I need to see your bibliography on that because I'm not sure that's accurate.
The Titans are the Oilers.
Liar. The Titans were the Oilers. That's correct. Yep. Houston Oilers.
So people move around. And who, the Jets, not the Jets. Oh crap. Winnipeg. Yeah, the Winnipeg Jets. They were a different team as well. I don't think they were an expansion team. I could be wrong on that one, but I think they were something else. So.
I don't know. A long time ago, the Brooklyn Dodgers moved to LA.
LA Lakers. They used to be the Minnesota Lakers. Minnesota Lakers.
That's right.
So teams move around all the time.
That's where the name came from, which of course not everybody knows. It's the land of 10,000 lakes, right? I think Wisconsin actually has more lakes than Minnesota, but whatever.
Well, if you're using the 10,000 number, but in Minnesota, there are actually 14,000 lakes.
Well, Wisconsin has 15,000. I don't know.
Wisconsin has 13,999.
Much larger lakes than you. Like
it's
Superior
size
and Michigan.
Is not what matters here.
Oh, yeah, that's what all people with small lakes.
Wait a second.
People with small lakes always say that.
If you're going to count the Great Lakes, that's an unfair thing because Wisconsin touches two of them.
Why is that unfair?
Touches three of them technically, doesn't it?
Yeah. Three. No, two. Just two.
Doesn't touch. What's the? There's another one. So there is a lake, and I can't think of the name. So forgive me.
Up on it's not Huron. It's
not.
I'm just kidding.
No, there is a lake that isn't necessarily considered a Great Lake in the grand scheme of things, but those of you who are from the Great Lakes region actually consider this part of the Great Lakes because it links them all together. And it's not the river that links them.
Yeah, I know. We've talked about that before, actually, and I searched it last time, so I'm not going to.
So you're searching it now? You're not going to? You're not searching it at all?
Well, maybe I am. Or it's just going to come to me. Well, Lake Superior, and no, it does not touch any other lake. Sorry.
Wisconsin or Minnesota? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it did.
Minnesota does touch Lake Superior, but it more just
you know what?
Nudges it.
Forgive me, those of you, especially Bill, those of you from Michigan.
Michigan, yeah.
I always forget the Upper Peninsula is Michigan.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But Wisconsin touches Lake Superior, even though
it does.
The UP has more shoreline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's just a tiny lake. And it's
I want to say Sault Ste. Marie, but I know that's wrong.
No, that is wrong. There's one in between Lake Simcoe, and that's over by, that's up in Canada, actually. Canada. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's, Lake Huron is Michigan as well. Michigan is, that whole mitten thing.
Yep.
Is
where you what is it? Where are you from? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, you point on the hand where things are. We do that in Wisconsin too. Same thing, except they have much skinnier fingers, apparently. We're not wearing mittens because we don't need mittens in Wisconsin. Of course, I'm not there anymore. So
Actually, it looks more like Wisconsin looks more like a mitten when you include Door County. Here's you got Wisconsin and here's Door County. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Door County.
Yeah, we do too. And and it's a lot of fun up there. There's a place we stayed a couple times that we went up there, the Lodge, I think it's called. Sister Bay, if I'm not mistaken. I think Sister Bay, Wisconsin. And what a cool place. And I, get emails from them, marketing emails, and really fun to, I guess the Lodge in Sister Bay.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, sadly. And of course, they haven't heard the podcast yet, so maybe they will become.
I'm sure they will.
A sponsor. So anyway, that's just a fun place and great scenes and great memories of having visited up there. It's pretty cool. Cool area.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool area.
I'm paying attention. I'm just trying to figure out what that lake is.
Oh,
I'm dropping pins to find out.
I'm not sure.
Because I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah, I can see the lake I'm talking about. I just
in your head?
know. No, it's one of these two, which looks like it's a part of Lake Huron, but you see it up there? Oops, go that way. It's one of those two.
Oh. It's not a part of Lake Huron?
It is and it isn't. Like it's not, but I don't know.
Well, it's Canada though.
Yeah, it's in Canada.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot in Canada.
There's Georgian Bay.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's just a bay. No, that's what it is. That's Georgian Bay.
But that's not the name of the lake.
Well, yeah, actually it is. It's the whole, that bay is, I don't know. That's what it is on Google Maps.
Right.
What is the other one?
Maybe Google's lying to us.
Probably
not. Oh, you know what? Do a search. Let's do a search.
St. Joseph Channel. What are you doing a search for?
The 6th Great Lake.
Oh, boy.
Champlain.
Lake Champlain. Yeah, well, we landed on that, but that's like New York.
Yeah, President Clinton signed the bill in 1998 to make it a Great Lake.
Yeah.
So where is it? Because it's not coming up. I'm sure our listeners really enjoy what we're talking about, but at least we're doing
silence.
Well, there's no silence. Lake Cham.
I don't know exactly where it is. I want to say it's New York, but I could be wrong.
It is New York.
Oh, it is.
But it's right under Montreal, but it's not connected to the other Great Lakes. And I swear the one that I'm talking about is connected to the Great Lakes.
Well, it might be, but that's the St. Lawrence Seaway that goes up there.
But it's not. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're right. Anyway. It doesn't matter.
Lake Ontario.
I'm trying to remember all of this from a conversation I had with someone in high school. And I was
you should have paid more attention.
Me pay attention. Come on.
In high school.
Seriously. I was paying attention to things, just not those things.
Yes, me too. Trouble all the time. Not really.
All the time. No, never. Really. I never got in trouble. I never did anything wrong.
No. Let's see. Teeth. Let's talk teeth for a minute, can we?
Okay. I have some.
Gosh. Do you?
Some. They're real, too.
Like spit and chiclets. Like that. Oh, look, I have teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to get, ever since my birthday. No, it's actually even before that, December of last year. I have been trying to get, I had a filling fall, and I've been trying to get it repaired. Well, they weren't sure if I needed to have a crown or if whatever. So they had to dig in there, and it's really close to the nerve. So I think you're going to need a root canal. Do a consult and see. So I went to an endodontist.
Interesting.
Endodontist. And
didn't even know that existed. Is that kind of like a
really either? It's like next level surgery.
Dinosaur or
yeah, they do on the side. They do dinosaur work.
Okay. No, they aren't. Wow, John.
No, ectoskeleton versus endoskeleton. Is that what you're saying?
No. Well, okay.
That was high school again, wasn't it?
No, I didn't really. We didn't talk about dinosaurs. I don't think they believed in them back then.
They didn't believe in dinosaurs.
So, interesting fact. I'm sure people have
trees.
Interesting fact. I don't believe. I'm sure everyone has seen the meme. But it's an interesting historical fact that when George Washington was president, he had no idea that dinosaurs had existed.
Huh. I don't know if you also knew this. He had wooden teeth.
He
dentures.
Did. Yeah. Actually, I think that's not real. I think that's a whole other podcast.
He had some dentures, I think. We're going to do an entire George Washington wooden teeth podcast?
No, just wooden teeth, yeah.
Oh, just in general. Okay.
It's a Fast Friday episode.
Speaking of teeth, it would better be a damn Fast Friday because Shazam, I wouldn't even tune in. Shazam! I'd listen to any of this. But yeah, so go into the endodontist. Nice guy. He says, John, I don't think you need it. I mean, I'll do a root canal if you need it, but I don't think you need it. I said, I'll go back and tell him that. Thank you very much. Changed dentists because they were idiots. And
nice.
went to this new place and they go, oh yeah, well, let's take it. Oh, number 19. Yeah. You know what? I want you to go. I'm going to give you a referral into an endodontist because I want him to look. Same guy.
Oh no.
Yeah. Months later. And he goes, hey, yeah, number 19, right? Which is pretty stupid. But yeah, so right down here, he takes another look and he said, I'll do it if you want. I'm just not seeing any proof that it.
Wow.
Seriously? So these are all, you can't get an appointment at the dentist for the next day. It's like a month later. And then the endodontist is another month later. And oh my gosh, appointments are crazy. Anyway, went back to the dentist. They did have a couple other things to take care of, which is fine. Next visit in, he says, okay, let's take a stab at 19. He's digging around and he says, it's just so close to the nerve. And he said, there's this spot. He said, that's fine. Let's put a temporary crown on. You're good to go. I'll give you about a 60% chance that they won't have to eventually do a
root canal.
And I said, okay. Waiting for the crown to come in 3 weeks. The temporary one falls off. Whatever. I got 2 days before I go to the dentist. Go back into the dentist. And he looks at it and he says, okay, we got your permanent here. And he's fitting it and everything. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that fits pretty darn well. But you know what I tell you? I'm concerned about this. See this little black area here? They did take more x-rays. And he said, I'm going to dig around in there a little bit. And so he freezes me up again. And he's digging around. He says, yep, you're getting a root canal. I said, are you serious? I've been in to see the guy. Same guy I'm going back to see. And he's probably going to say the same thing. So he had to just fill this with a temporary again until I get into the endodontist, which will be next month. And then setting the appointment to come back, they're going to have to again get me fitted, fill it, wait 3 weeks for the new crown to come in. And
unbelievable.
This is a racket. I'll be dead by the time your crown's done. John? Yeah, damn it. What on earth is that?
It sounds like a scam, buddy. I'm sorry. I think you're getting scammed.
It does, but it's not. A scam, at least a scam would be, there'd be a good explanation for it. Well, at least they were running a scam. You know?
I don't know if that ever happens.
Wow.
I don't know if there's anyone happy to have a scam run on them.
Well, and these guys are so busy anyway. Seriously. Every time I'm in there, it's not that they're trying to put you off. They'd love to get you in, but I'm again a month out with them, a month out with the endodontist. I said, while I'm here yesterday, why don't I call the endodontist and try to get an appointment? And when I do, you can get me an appointment at the next day or 2 days. Good idea. So while I'm sitting in the damn chair, I'm on the phone with the same endodontist. Anyway, So yeah, there's my.
So what that's telling me is that we all need to go back to school and either become dentists or endodontists because there doesn't seem to be enough of them.
Apparently not, and either that or they take a lot of time off. I don't know. I'm
probably
not sure.
Both.
Good for them. Probably if they can handle that. That's good.
So did I ever share this story? And I'm going to butcher it because again, way back when my stepfather, when he decided to become a physician, being a doctor was. It's a certain way of saying this. He wanted to be a doctor. He didn't think he was smart enough or could pass the test to be a doctor. So he was planning on, after his undergraduate, planning on becoming a dentist. So he took all the tests and did all that, but just on a whim, he's like, well, I'll take the medical school test. Took it and got into medical school. And he's like, I'm going to medical school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're saying that most dentists
no, they're very smart
into medical school?
No, they're very smart people.
Oh
but
my gosh.
He didn't think that he had what it took to be. Then maybe that's a better way of saying it. Not smart. He didn't think he had what it took to be a physician.
Which it's really taxing. I mean, there's no question. Anybody who's been a resident or worked ER or whatever, it's just I can't even imagine. It takes a special person to do that. There's no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt. But I don't know if I could dig in people's mouth all day. I think about that as well. People's mouths, with varying level of ickiness. Yep. But you know what? If you're a physician, you're going to be in a lot more than mouths.
Yeah. And there are certain physicians that can stinkier places.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I love this new guy, dentist. He's a good guy and thoughtful. And he didn't have to do this. He's going, we could just do the. But
did you say his name was Dennis? Dennis the dentist?
No, that would be Krent. His last name is Krentist.
Oh, okay. Krentis the dentist. Dennis Krentis the dentist.
No, that would be a mess. That was from The Office, of course.
I honestly have not seen The Office. Many episodes, like one or two.
You're in trouble because you are going to need to have intelligent conversations.
I tell you what. I will watch The Office when you watch Goonies.
You're going to watch every Office episode? If I watch the stupid Goonies?
I'll try. And okay,
if
I'm going to watch all of them. No, if I'm going to watch all of them, you will have. I'll say Goonies, and then we'll have to find another movie that I love that you haven't seen, that you refuse to see. So you'll have to watch those two movies for me to watch all of them. I'm just going to tell you I haven't
seen them, no matter what, and I'll have seen it. And I watched that too.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, because we have the same taste.
I'll test you. I'll quiz you. I will quiz you.
If I've seen it, it doesn't matter. I'll just tell you I haven't.
What? No, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
I defriend you.
That's one of my favorite commercials.
I
love that.
Take you off my wall.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Folks, if you're wondering what we're talking about, there was a commercial. Facebook.
No, that wasn't the product. No, it was an ad for something else.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just making a parody of Facebook.
Yeah, they were making a parody of Facebook. And
I put these pictures on my wall, and she's in her wall.
She had literally physical pictures on a physical wall. I unfriend you.
You can't unfriend. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Three older ladies sitting around.
You really need to. I bet you if you did a search on YouTube, where you can also find episodes of PoddiMouths, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Smash the subscribe and like button.
Subscribe and like.
And then, of course, hit the bell so you're notified every time.
But then you have to watch us.
They don't have to watch. They could listen to.
That's
just
true.
Put it on in the background. I do that often. I listen to music through YouTube, but I just minimize the screen. So
what do you think I'm doing right now?
I'm
playing solitaire.
Anyway, John.
Yes, Neek.
I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, YouTube. You were going probably do a search for YouTube saying that's not how this works and that's not how any of this works, and I'm sure it would come up.
I'm sure it would. You know what? Michael and I, when Michael was, he must have been 12 years old, if that. There was it was called chipshot.com. So it was a website.
Golfing?
Yes, it was for golf equipment, I think, things like that. And there was one commercial that was just freaking hilarious. And he and I must have watched it, I don't know, 100 times just because he would get such a kick out of it. Two guys playing golf, and one of them is kind of the voice of reason. He says, just chip it out of there. You're never going to get through those trees. He says, no, I can do this. And the other guy says, just chip it out. No, I think I can see. I can do this. And he's between the trees, and the other guy's standing off to the side, and he goes, just chip it. All right, whatever. And so the guy hits it It ricochets off the tree, hits the other guy square in the nuts, and drops him to the ground. And then the first guy's going, "Yeah, maybe I should have chipped it out." And Michael was his ass off. So I found it on YouTube, and I mean, it's just he would do the sound effects. He would do the sound effects as we are talking about it, and made me laugh. Of course, well, I found it on YouTube. Terrible video quality for whatever reason, and I sent him the link. I said, 5:16 in, you're going to want to see this. And he was.
That's
said
hilarious.
It was brought back some great memories. What a fun! But yeah, he would hang with me on the computer and watch. We would watch that.
Did we ever talk about the Paragon commercials, Paragon Health?
I don't think so.
Let's see if I can.
Seems like it would be a foregone conclusion. I kind of left that one hanging.
Maybe it wasn't Paragon. Let's see.
Well, then we didn't talk about it for sure. Paragon Health? No, there is no such thing. I think there is.
No, it's Trigon. I was wrong. It was Trigon Health.
Trigon Health?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to send. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send it to you so you can watch. But for the rest of you, I'll kind of explain it. It's a little boy. It's a whole series of commercials, but my favorite one is this little boy. And playing music in the background, he starts telling a story about he and his mom going out and doing this and doing that, and then it's kind of confusing. You're like, what is he talking about? And then near the end, he goes, "You know what he did? He kicked him in the penis."
Oh, you did show me that one.
Yeah. He was injured bad.
Injured bad. Yes, I remember that. That was
freaking hilarious commercial.
Love that one. Yes, love that one.
I did put it in chat for you if you want to see it again, but it's
check it when we're
done. Folks, what I did is it's Trigon kicked him in the penis commercial. But you can also do, you know what he did?
Wow,
he kicked him.
And that's how I got it up on YouTube. A lot of things, probably.
That is probably going to bring up way too much, but yeah, it's fantastic commercial.
Kids. Well, that's awesome.
Peyton loves that commercial too. She thinks it's hilarious.
Well,
you know what he did? He kicked him in the penis.
Oh my god!
The little kid's got a little bit of a lisp too, so it makes it even funnier.
Well,
yeah,
I found that to be true when you're at the gym with the guys and you bring up the word penis. If you pretend you have a little lisp, it really goes over a lot more smoothly in the locker room.
I'm sure. Wow.
Yes, one thing never to say in the locker room.
Never to say, right?
No, with or without a lisp, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What else is on your so-called mind?
Very little. It's Friday. It's the end of the day. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
It's been a very long day. It's been a
Fridays
very long
are
week.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's we had that last week. You had Saturday and Sunday just very, very busy. So this week I'm looking forward to not having as much. Jen still has a lot to do on Saturday, but Sunday is going to be very much a relaxed day. So I'm looking forward to it. How about you?
We are going to be big time churchy this weekend. We're trying to open this new campus of our church body. Where we have the main one, 15 minutes from here, from our place, and there's one up in Sarasota about 45 minutes away. And we're opening one that's about 1.5 miles from our house. So
nice.
But it's been just kind of a circus getting.
Is it the Church of Ever Loving Quaddies?
No, thankfully, I don't want to go to that church. But the one that we are going to, it's called the New Day Christian Church, and it's pretty awesome, good sized, bigger than we're used to, and to have a separate campus is kind of.
Is it Baptist?
Unique. No, it's non-denominational.
Okay, interesting. Because there's a church here in Nashville. I actually I manage their website, and they're the New Day Church.
Oh, cool!
But it's a Southern Baptist church.
Yeah, they don't have. They have an affiliated church. In fact, our pastor's dad has retired from this monster church, a mega church in Louisville.
Okay.
And of course, Rusty is from there as well. Rusty, I love that. That's the lead pastor's name. But it's big. I mean, there are 9 pastors they have.
Wow.
Well, but for different ministries, and they all preach, or almost all of them preach. So that's kind of nice, and it gives Rusty some time off and so on. But so it's a nice group. Nice. We've been asked to volunteer for the guest experience team, which is smile at people and welcome them and stuff like that.
You and Lisa are going to have a tough time doing that. You're just not very peoply people.
By the end of the weekend, I'm not sure how peoply we'll be by then. But,
that I can understand.
Yeah, we've got a run through on Saturday and Sunday, assuming we can get the certificate of occupancy, which I don't know. By the time this comes out, we'll know. Obviously, if not, we will not have the Sunday.
It'll make for another good episode of PoddiMouths.
Yeah, it sure will. So what happened? Did you open or not? Well, we'll know. But if not this Sunday, next Sunday, I'm sure. But, you try to, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. And so they're trying to wrap things up in this building. And it's just a complete remodel, a strip mall, which seems like a lot of churches are doing now, but spending some huge money on it. Yeah. And seating, it'll seat about 250 people.
Oh, wow.
So, that's awesome. So you can imagine the size of the strip mall when you have an auditorium that big. So, if we can get it open, that would be great. But that will be our weekend, one way or the other. We're going to be
good luck with that.
Doing something. Thank you. It's been a little bit of a road to get this thing going. One of the pastors said, "This is the 3rd August I've been talking about this location." So it's been going on for
this is the 3rd August in 2 years I've been talking about this.
Yes, exactly.
Getting sick of this.
Seems like that. We did one other quick thing just to kind of test the market. At least we did an Easter service, a sunrise service, out in the field just outside of this building, and 575 people came for that.
Wow.
So we're like, that's okay. We are going to start with 2 services and see what happens after that. But anyway, it was pretty packed. So hopefully it'll be a good chance for people in Northport, beautiful Northport, Florida, to come out and do some Sunday worship.
Nice. So that's the city name you live in, Northport?
We are actually in Port Charlotte physically, but a mile from this place. We're like on the border. Yeah. So Northport, Charlotte, some people call it. So
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Real close. No excuses for being late. We'll probably still be late.
Probably. I mean, why not?
Because.
Come on. Well, I think that's a good place to bid our fancy listeners adieu.
Fancy? You were going to say fans, weren't you? Bid our fans adieu. And
yes.
They're all going, we're not fans. We just listen because we don't have anything better to do.
Again, I can relate. I can relate.
Yes. Why are we doing the podcast?
That's John. It's been lovely. It's fun.
Always good talking with you.
It hasn't been lovely fun.
It has too.
Of course it has. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic weekend, John. All of you can have an okay week. I don't know. It's whatever you want. But no, I'm sure you guys have a great week too. I'll look forward to talking to you next week. And hey, be potty out there. I'm trying new taglines.
Be
potty. Well, so okay. I'm sorry, guys. One more quick thing. John and I, when we communicate to each other, hey, are you up for pottying today?
It's true.
And I mean, we potty dusting, potty. Yes. We're always trying to blend potty into our vocabulary. And so I'm just trying for new things. And I thought a good tagline would be good. A good potty line.
Hey, you all be potty. Stay potty.
Stay potty. I like it. I like it a lot.
Birthday potty.
Oh, no.
Probably not. Okay.
All right. All right, John. I'll see you later.
See ya.